you don't like Meghan Markle. You've made it so clear a number of times on this programme.
Even by the standards of a show in which confrontation is nothing new, this between two of its presenters this morning was extraordinary.
But yet you continue to trash her.
OK, I'm done with this.
No.
Sorry, no.
Sorry. Do you know what? That's pathetic.
You can trash me, mate, but not my
No.
See you later.
I'm being...
Sorry, can't do this.
This is absolutely diabolical behaviour.
Not the white man striking again, bro. So yeah, if you just watched that video and you've been alive this week and you've been aware of what's going on around, it's a hectic week in South Africa, it's a hectic week worldwide. And I've been a bit quiet because I just wanted to collect my thoughts and see where I fit in as a young sexologist and black man in today's society. And for me, just to watch Piers Morgan act like a child, like a little boy that just got rejected. Remember in high school when a little boy gets rejected by a girl and all of a sudden now she's a bitch, and it's just like same song and dance. Meghan Markle said, I needed mental help and I was mentally unstable. And his response was violence. Disappointed but not surprised. What else can you say? It's a white male. That's how it's gonna be, and it's so fucked up inherently. And I felt like this time on Sexology, Sex Age, which you had with me, Yangini Saidi, I felt like it's something that I've been speaking on and something I need to continue speaking on. So I guess this is the beginning of a new series that I wanted to talk about, and I'll be talking really about black women in media, black women in medicine, and the socio-psychological effects that the world has on black women, and why understanding them is paramount to our being, because the way we treat and understand the most marginalized groups of society reflects exactly who we are. And I think people that will dismiss it and be like, nah, it's just Meghan Markle, royal drama, it's not even that deep, don't understand the subconscious psychological structures that enable society to treat a black woman like that. Don't believe me? Let's go back to 2017 when Serena Williams had just had a child, and Serena Williams, obviously in my opinion, the best athlete to ever do it, had just had a child, and she had a pulmonary embolism. Now what that is it's a blood clot that goes into the arteries in your lungs, and essentially, movement of oxygen is inhibited throughout your body. So she had a pulmonary embolism after her childbirth, which is fairly common. And she told her doctors, because she had had one before in 2011, so she told her medical practitioners, listen, I'm not feeling good, I think it's this, can we sort it out? To which they responded, just relax, wear your compression pants, you'll be fine. Eventually she got worse, her condition worsened, and then they were forced to take a look at her. And what did they find? Fucking geniuses found a pulmonary embolism, as she has said. Except now her condition was worsened. And thankfully she was able to get the help she needed, and she got better and recovered, and everything's cool now, even though she does still feel that there's a risk of it happening again. But she got the help she needed eventually. And I don't think people realize the magnitude of that situation and what it displays. It displays the fact that you understand how much Serena Williams is paying for those medical practitioners. She's paying upwards of millions of dollars for her medical care in a year. Upwards of millions of dollars. And she was not listened to. And what that shows quite beautifully is, tragically beautifully, is that it doesn't matter if you're a black woman, how much money you have, how much resources you have, who you are, the best athlete to ever exist. You will still not be listened to. Now, the story with Serena Williams highlights something that's very common throughout all industry, and it's not listening to the black female voice. And why I say this is very common is because it's almost become subconsciously a part of us and who we are, right? We are more likely to listen to a male voice. And if that voice is white, we're even more likely to listen to it. And what's the opposite side of that spectrum? It's a black woman. Now, I wouldn't have time to speak about the medical structures and the psychological structures as to why that is. If you don't agree with me, there's a link below to a professional accent and vocal coach. His name is Eric Singer. He explains it very beautifully. There's a video from, I'll link you to Eric Singer's channel, A White Man That Knows What's Up, and he explains it properly. It's quite ironic using a white man to explain why black women's voices. Yeah, let me see if I can find a black woman, but yeah, that's that. As a medical profession, as media, and as a society, something that's extremely fucked up and that needs to change. Now, this situation sits on, in my opinion, two pedestals. The first being the sociological reasoning that she was not listened to, and secondly, the physiological reason that this happened, right? Now, when I speak about sociological reasoning, I'm really speaking about society and how we view black women and why we don't listen to black women. And when I'm speaking of physiologically, I'm speaking about the treatment of black women within medical and within sports and how we physically treat them, right? And how these two mixed together has, in my opinion, caused a mass genocide of black successful women. So another situation that looks quite intensively at what I've just said, at these two structures, is this woman's story within Nike, and I'll let her tell her story.
It would be naive to not acknowledge the fact that weight is important in sports. It's like boxers need to maintain a certain weight, or, everybody always ends up citing the math about how the thinner you are, the faster you're gonna run because you have to carry less weight. But here's a biology lesson I learned the hard way. When young women are forced to push themselves beyond what they're capable at their given age, they're at risk for developing REDS. Suddenly, you realize you've lost your period for a couple months. And then a couple months becomes a couple years. And in my case, it was a total of 3. And if you're not getting your period, you're not going to be able to have the necessary levels of estrogen to maintain strong bone health. And in my case, I broke 5 different bones.
Now, this just shows you that you could be at the best training facilities in the world. The fact that these spaces lack women in professions such as physiology, such as nutritionists, and then, of course, coaching, it shows you the detriment to women and to black women within these spaces. And it really shows you that this is the best a black woman is going to be treated. Now, we haven't even begun to speak about the worst. And that is why I think what we're doing is, what I'm doing is extremely necessary. I like to say we because I'm not doing this just for myself. Like, I want people to engage with me and really allow this conversation to grow and to spark. So this series is going to consist of a lot of things centered around black women. We're going to talk about many different things. The first 2 videos, the first one will be on sociology, and the second one will be on the physiology of how society treats black women. The third video, I'm going to talk about misogynoir, which is for people, because I know there are going to be people that don't understand why black women are the most marginalized grouping of people on planet Earth. But the third video is going to explain that. Misogynoir, talking about the hatred of black women. The fourth video, we're going to talk about black women and the sexual performance, right? Society places a large viewage of black women, and they're placed into boxes, right? There's the black woman who's like a baddie, doesn't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? Then there's the palatable black woman. Then there's the black woman who's loud, and the feminist black woman. You understand what I'm saying? So we're going to talk about the performances of black women, and then we're going to talk about the sexual performances of black women, because obviously I'm a sexologist, or aspiring sexologist, because speak into existence and manifest. But yeah, we'll talk about how women are almost taught to perform sexuality. And then we'll lastly, and I maybe might move it up because it's quite important, we'll talk about mental health and black women and the type of mental disorders that they go through. This one is going to hit a spot because even just amongst my friends, my black women who are my friends, I see the effects that society has on them that my white women who are my friends don't go through. Yeah, so that's exactly what this series is going to be talking about. So I will be releasing those videos over time. You guys let me know if there's anything else you guys want to hear from me, or what you want to talk about, or you feel like I missed. I'm always open to growth, always open to new things. And I think, lastly, I'll finish off with the fact that I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that this is the way we treat black women, even till this day. Why am I not surprised? Because I understand the history and the origins of black women within science and within medicine, right? Let me take you back to the 1800s, where Sarah Bartman was taken from South Africa to the UK and then around Europe, and she was paraded in a circus, in a sideshow, as the Hottentot Venus, right? The African black woman. And if you want to know more, go watch Venus Noir. I think it's called Venus Noir. It's a movie about Sarah Bartman and how she was brought to the UK and paraded around. And eventually, why I'm saying I'm not disappointed in medicine, because originally, this was the first scientific and medical analysis done on a black woman, right? They took Sarah Bartman, they put her in a lab, and they started drawing some shit, and they were like, yeah, all black women have vaginas that look like that. That definitely. We don't even get me started on how she was degraded and treated during that entire process. And then they just used the worst fucking scientific method to ever have been used, and we're like, yeah, this is it. This makes total sense. We're gonna go with this. To this day, drawings of her are used and exist in medical. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because how fucked up it is. I think her bones were returned to Africa, South Africa, I think, like a couple of years ago. And this happened in the 1800s, fam. But anyway, that's that. But anyway, it's clear by now that this is something I need to do, and I've been sitting on for a long time. And I feel like now is the right time that we have this conversation. And I'm not doing this for anyone or anything in particular. I'm doing this because hopefully someone out there feels heard and understands what I'm saying and feels accepted by the videos I make. I'm doing this so that there's the white man watching this and sees shit a bit differently, a lot differently, and treats the black woman around him better. And I learn from you guys, obviously, through this conversation, how to treat the black woman around me better, because everyone can get better. That's all I got to say. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This furthers conversation. Much love.